Joining us now to talk markets and more is Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat, chief investment officer of Fundstrat Capital. He's also the chairman of BitMine as well as a CNBC contributor. We've got some new stuff to factor into your either bearish or bullish case. I assume it's still somewhat bullish, but okay, the economy looks like it may actually be slowing a little bit. Last week, the markets definitely retrenched. You've been solidly bullish since, Liberation Day. But last week was a setback, and August is not always a great month. You think we get a little bit of choppiness here? Are you still bullish?
Well, last week was definitely consolidation because we had 5 days where the market opened higher and closed lower.
Really?
And they call that bearish engulfing. It makes sense because we're consolidating that 28% gain from the April lows. And on the job stuff, I think it's just the data's catching up to what we already know. The labor market's been soft, right? So it's, I think, a positive setup because now the Fed has more ammunition to make a dovish pivot in the fall. And it's not too late because we know the thing that they're going to stimulate is the housing market. And you had a couple guests earlier talking about that. And so that is what strengthens the economy in 2026. So I think it's quite a positive setup. We're just consolidating, and then we make a bigger move higher.
Is it fair to say that since it's a dual mandate, that maybe the Fed should have been able to think that there was more risk to a slowdown than to inflation? Do you think they missed that a little bit and they're fighting? I don't know, but Trump said you got to cut, so they couldn't. Maybe they had to err that way just for political reasons.
Yeah, I think the Fed needs to demonstrate independence. But you're right. I think when they look at their dual mandate, they're probably drifting further from the employment metric now because the unemployment rate, if you use the existing participation rate before this report, it's almost 5% now. So the Fed now has to be considering the risk of jobs market actually going into a cycle of weakening.
Right. But you have also been, I guess dovish is the word, on inflation. You have not thought that there was going to be necessarily a big impact from the tariff regime.
That's right. And I think the biggest takeaway is, first of all, if you look at the latest inflation report, the goods component that are tariff-driven, it's been only mild. But also, if you use the same inflation measure Europe uses, which is inflation ex housing, we're actually under 2%. The Fed, if they were the ECB, would be cutting right now.
That's interesting. So by the end of the year, or what target are you using now, and what time frame?
I think we're going to rally pretty strongly in August. So I think we can get back to 65 or get to 6,600 all-time highs in the next couple weeks.
And then 7,000 in the next 12 months, above that?
Yeah, probably well above that.
Well above that.
Yeah.
BitMine, we mentioned that at the top, is going to be, in your view, the micro strategy or strategy of Ethereum or Ether.
Yes, that's right. Just a month ago, I was on the show to announce I was becoming chairman. And at the time, the stock was $4.50, and we announced a $250 million investment led by Founders Fund and Mosaics and others. But today, we announced that we reached almost $3 billion worth of ETH. And
the largest ETH holder, then.
Yeah, the largest ETH treasury in the world and the third largest crypto treasury in the world. And we also announced that Bill Miller III made a major investment last week into BitMine, so that he joins Cathie Woods in investing in our company in the past couple weeks.
That's the Bill Miller from Legg Mason we all know.
Yes, right? That's right. The Bill Miller that we all know.
Yep.
Yes,
he was super early.
Yeah.
On crypto too.
No, that's what I was going. I was saying super. He was like, right? What was he getting Bitcoin at? 2012, 13?
Yeah, he has some of the lowest cost Bitcoin out there.
What's your symbol? What is BitMine?
It's ticker BMNR. And the stock now is around 32. So in the past,
$4?
$4.50, yeah.